Hey everyone, it's Carl from ADVMoto here in San Diego, test riding Honda's new 2019 CB500X. There's a host of new improvements for the bike this year. It's got about 6 years underneath the old version, but the biggest one is the 19-inch front wheel, slipper clutch. We've got oversized handlebars. There's just a host of changes, but really what we want to do is swing our leg over the saddle, get our butt in here, and head out. So let's see how she rides. We are riding Honda's new CB500X right now. We're hitting some of the twisty back roads of San Diego, California. Give a couple quick first impressions. What we're looking at here is a bike that has more than just bold new graphics, although they did do some restyling to it. The ergonomics have changed up a little bit. The tank is more narrow, and that helps offset the reach to the ground. The seat height on it is wonderful. I got a 32-inch inseam. I can flat-foot it. I would be guessing anyone to around a 30-inch inseam should be fairly comfortable on it. I think if you start getting around 28 or below, you might be tiptoeing a little bit, but they did redesign the tank so it's a little more narrow. You got a very comfortable seating geometry. You've got a bunch of all the cool bells and whistles that you would like, LED lights and everything like that. You'd be able to carry some luggage on it. The standing geometry is not bad. I think at 6 feet you would be cool to have higher bars, but I don't think that's really the issue that I'm having at 6 feet tall. I think the problem is the foot pegs are too high, and it just kind of shows some of the motorcycle street DNA. Also, the foot pegs are street pegs, so, they're kind of like a street peg. Straight bars, a little rubber pad on top. Not really the best feedback. That would probably be one of the first things to change on the bike if you're going to be taking this seriously off-road. But there's really not too much to complain about. I believe these bikes are targeted at around $6,700 and then just under $7,000 with ABS. The bike I'm on now is the non-ABS, which I'm actually kind of happy to be riding. The handlebars on the CB are rubber mounted. The mounts, I believe, are rubber mounted. That might be taking some of the buzz out. The clamp is oversized, which is nice, so if you do get an upgraded, like a CR high bar or something like that on there, it'll bolt right on. You don't need an adapter. You might want to get a riser if you're slightly taller. But I'm happy to report that the suspension settings, at least as they are brand new, are pretty good. I'm over 200 pounds, about 6 feet tall. I would say, though, that if you are hitting off-road riding a little more aggressively, you may find it a little stiff, actually, which is really nice when you're on pavement and you're in the twisties. But even at 200 and something pounds, sometimes it feels like it's a little bit stiff. Maybe it's the rebound is a little too fast because it kind of wants to kick back up a little bit, and you can kind of feel that. But ultimately, though, it's extremely capable, and I'm happy that the motorcycles, even in the more entry-level to mid-price, are coming stock from the factory with much better suspension than they used to. I'm not sure why anyone ever thought it would have been cool to put soft suspension on everything. But so far, it's all been good. The tires are working wonderfully. The slipper clutch doesn't give you any surprises as far as downshifting and then kind of grabbing the wheel. And that's actually really nice off-road. Overall, for the market that I think that would be interested in this type of model, the slipper clutch is a wonderful feature, and I'm overall glad that they added it. The 500 is parallel twin, but it's a little more relaxed. Don't expect it to break any land speed records, though. On the highway, at 60 miles an hour, I believe you're running at about 4,500 RPM in top gear, and you've got about an 8,500 RPM red line on this. We got separated a little bit by a car in traffic, and I got a chance to get it up close to the red line. It's not a real top-end motor. Honda, I think, smartly tries to design their engines to be more bottom-end because that's where most of us use the power every day. All right, so let's try to do a quick summary here of the Honda CB500X with upgrades for 2019. Pros, great updates to the engine. A couple extra ponies. The slipper clutch is nice, especially for learning riders, and that is not just for the street, but off-road too as well. The bike is a fantastic value for under $7,000. It's only about $1,000 more than a Versys 300. I think probably versus the Versys 300, which I also like, and is the closest bike in this sector, even though the engine is a little different. You probably have a little bit more life on the 500. Maybe, you know, like the engine's going to stress a little less on the highway and everything. The 19-inch wheel upgrade is fun. I love 19, 17-inch wheel combinations. The more of those we can see out there, the better. It definitely has a positive impact on the rough road stuff. We're not really doing anything heavy technical here, but it's helpful. Cons, probably the first one that kind of literally smacks me in the face is this readout. I wish it had a little more contrast. I'm not really too worried about necessarily say the size of the readout being too small, but I do wish that it had more contrast. The geometry could be a little bit better for off-roading in terms of standing up. The foot pegs, which are street pegs that I have mentioned earlier, could be a little bit lower. That would be great for all kinds of people. It just makes it for a roomier seating position. But overall, it's awesome to see that we have more and more offerings in this segment. People want a mid-sized bike around, 350 to 550, or ideally 450, 500, and that's what we've got here. People wanted a larger front wheel, and Honda responded and they said, here's a larger front wheel. It's awesome. All I can recommend is to see if it's right for you. Go out to your dealership, sit your butt on one, see if you can take it for a spin, decide if you like it or not. But there's a lot to love about this bike and these types of bikes in general. Thanks for checking out this test ride with ADVMoto. Please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and check us out at adventuremotorcycle.com. In the meantime, this is Carl Parker signing out. Everybody ride safe and have fun.